What's up, fam? And welcome back again to Recap Kickback, where we talk about the Black entertainment news of the week and highlight our shows, what we're watching, what's coming next, and other big names in Black entertainment and other things. You know, off topic, we do go off the rails a little bit. But for the most part, we're here to celebrate Black excellence and talk about what's in the Black news. And so I'm your host, Chappell, once again. And with me, per usual, my co-host, Mari Fourth. Mari, what's up?
Hey, Chappell, we are here. We're back another week. Can't wait to recap everything that's gone on in entertainment news for the past 7 days.
Yeah, and it's feeling a little bit like deja vu because we're gonna be talking about something we already talked about. It's been a lot of people knowing, and gotta pour it out for some of the goats, But we brought in one of the goats to come help out with this podcast, Mari, your co-host from the Rest of the Recap podcast, the Matt Scott. Matt Scott, welcome to Recap Kickback.
Ooh, thank you for having me on Recap Kickback. Happy to be here. Just to dive into all of it. When you mentioned Black excellence, of course, you called me. So happy to be here. I'm a little nervous for what we're going to talk about, just because, the news. The news
be newsing.
So, yeah. I'm a little scared. I'm scared.
Yes. The news be newsing, but we're going to talk about and try to highlight it and have a good time talking about the things that we can talk about. But thank you all for listening, of course, to Recap Kickback. Thank you all for subscribing, all your kind words. I appreciate the comments, people who are loyal listeners in the comments. Mari, they've been asking for you to talk more about these books that you be putting people on. I think people to read the dragon book you talked about, and now they're like, Mari, when are we going to get an update? So
give her a segment.
Mari's book club coming back. Mari, what are we doing? Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because in the dragon book that I had suggested everybody, the third book comes out, I think, January of 2025. So you still have plenty of time to read the first two books, Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. So do that, and then maybe when the book comes out, we'll do a book club or something like that. But the third book comes out, I know it's January 2025, or at least the first quarter in 2025. I am currently listening to a book that's very interesting. It's called Sometimes I Lie, and it's Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. It's very good. It's a very good book. If you're into twists and turns and unreliable narrators, that's a good one as well. Yeah. So plenty. We'll do a book corner on one of these things. Few of these things a few times. Let me know what y'all want to hear.
They in the comments, I'm telling you, and we've getting some 5-star reviews as well. One says crying, 5 stars from Jim 302. It says, I love what Chappell and Mari on the RHAP BB podcast. Been listening to that for years, and finally decided, honestly too late, to check out Recap Kickback. Started with the Divorce in the Black episode, and I'm dying of laughter at work. Y'all got me. Thank you so much, Jim 302. And then we got one from Charlotte Swinger. It says, love, 5 stars. Thank you for keeping us in the loop. Appreciate you. And so I think people are liking the Black entertainment update. Yeah, I think they're liking the format. Yeah. Matt, what do you think about our new format?
No, I love it. Look, I feel like we're here to keep people updated. Honestly, I do feel like I do personally like, I have appreciated the stepping back. I could catch up on the episodes whenever I'm watching something, but it is always nice to kind of have the reminder of what's going on as we're talking about all this, just the broader context, all the inside jokes that I'm sure come up. So I'm into it.
Yeah. And thank everybody for listening and subscribing. Remember, you can hit this like button here on our YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe. We're not getting enough likes on these videos, y'all. Y'all watching them. I'm seeing the numbers, but you're not clicking like. Go ahead and click like on the podcast so that other people can find it and so that we can build our Recap Kickback community as well as the Recap Kickback community. We got new stuff on Recap Kickback as well. Brought back the Walking Dead coverage. Jessica Leeson, AJ Mass, and Josh Wigger will be joining me to talk about The Walking Dead on the Zombie Kickback. People who know me know that's one of my shows that I've covered for a long time, and so we assembled the crew, and so that will be happening along with other things that we're cooking up for the future. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Let's get into this last few days because it's been tough. We've lost some of the greats, Mari, including Dikembe Mutombo and John Amos.
I know, it's just crazy. I hate when we go through these spells where it's like you feel like it's like a whole bunch of well-known celebrity people are just like passing one by one, but it feels like that. Like, ugh, I feel so bad. Mutombo notice, known for the blocking, the no. Yeah, rest in power to him. Dying at such a young age from brain cancer. That is so unfortunate. And then John Amos died, which like he died in August of this year. Why it's just being announced? Yes, August 21st. He died August 21st. Why it's just being announced, I have no idea. But I could have sworn it was already announced. I thought he had already passed away. But you know what? It don't matter. It's still
but you know what? You know what? You were giving him his flowers while he was still here, Mari. So
exactly.
There's that. And no, like with Mutombo, honestly, like I remember growing up and being such a huge fan of him, mostly based on his height, but then he just grew on me otherwise. And we'll miss him. It is sad, but it's also good that both of them, they've gotten their flowers time and time again.
Yeah.
So rest in power.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about John Amos and other ways on this podcast already. We've talked about good times and various different
iterations.
Like formats. Yeah, iterations. Like I'm thinking of the cartoon, I'm thinking of the Good Times proper, the theme song. He's best known for playing James Evans Sr., husband of Florida Evans, and one of the premier Black sitcom leading characters. And so good, for him to be able to like carve out this, amazing career. But he's also known for Roots, and then as far as I'm concerned, John Amos has been working my whole life. Like I've never not known this man to be famous. He's definitely Black celebrity royalty in like as far as like acting. I mean, I could think of everything from the Players Club to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like he's everywhere. So rest in peace to the king here, one of the many kings, and also rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo. Brain cancer is so sad to even think about somebody getting that at such a young age and just passing away like he did. But we do have to give these people their flowers. And then last but not least, Ken Page, the voice of Oogie Boogie in The Nightmare Before Christmas, died as well. And I've never seen The Nightmare Before Christmas, so
wow,
I didn't know him.
Well, it's no better time than the present. I mean, like,
not too late. We're getting to the holiday season and all. Yes,
but so then you can't even answer the question that everybody fights over: is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
It could.
I have no input. Oh, it can be both. I don't think. I don't think that's true.
No,
I mean, just watch it from October 31st to December 25th. It's that easy.
Is it about Halloween or is it just scary? Like spooky?
No, I mean, I don't want to give it up. Now I feel like
you gonna spoil Nightmare Before Christmas before me.
I think we should watch. Let's ask our listeners if anybody would do a live watch party. Like,
okay, but literally, it's a holiday movie.
Yes,
it is a holiday movie. Yes,
let's be clear.
So like,
which holiday? Which holiday?
Like Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas.
I'm not gonna lie. To me, it's a Halloween movie.
Wow.
Like I watch it. I normally watch it during Halloween.
You know what? I will say I do feel like it's a better Halloween movie than it's higher up on the Halloween movie rankings than it would be on the Christmas movie.
Exactly.
Rankings.
And I think that's just because there's like way more like Christmas movies, like better Christmas movies.
Yeah, that makes total sense. He died at the age of 70. He's also been in the theater roles of like The Lion and the Wiz. He was featured in the version of Cats that was released on video in 1998. So, this man, again, another king of stage and screen in a lot of ways that we are losing this month, or, depending on when John Amos died within the last month or so. And so, we got to give these people our flowers, because if not here on Recap Kickback, then where else are we going to do this?
Exactly.
But
speaking of things ending unceremoniously, got a lot of cancellations this fall. We talked about this before, y'all. It's really hard for Black shows to really get, the push that they need, right? Like to get that extra bump to where they're able to have the longevity to have a bad season or two, or maybe not have the best ratings and still go on to be a show, right? Because there's a lot of shows that are not Black shows that typically get other chances. And so finding out
why is Emily still in Paris? Like,
why is Emily still in Paris? Okay. Why? For what? Oh, It's Always Sunny has been on for like 20 years, y'all.
Literally, though.
Forgetting that it hasn't, even though I like that show.
I was going to say, hold on. Let's
I
not.
still believe it's still going. It feels like, like I could have sworn they were going to end it a few times.
Yeah, like almost 20 seasons, so literally. And good for them.
Crazy.
Forever.
Yeah.
But and that's good, right? We're not hating on nobody for getting their just due. It's just like, hey, we would like that too. So you got to keep up with these shows, obviously, so you'll know what you need to watch, you know, so that it doesn't get canceled. And one of the shows that I don't watch, but I started watching it, it got away from me. All American. All American
was canceled?
Yeah, so this article says All American Homecoming is canceled.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the bad news.
I don't watch that, but I know that's so good. Like, people love that show.
It's better than the first All American.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. The spinoff is on the way out. It says the season, now airing in the summer, notably has averaged 418,000 total viewers through its first 5 episodes, down more than 30% from the prior season. And the final air date will be Monday, September 30th on the CW. So we already, it's done. It's gone. It's not coming back, y'all. I bet you a lot of these cancellations are due to the strike. It's like, I'm pretty sure a lot of it has to do with the strike. The studios are trying to recoup money. I think I remember them saying like some of like the new provisions in the CBA might have studios like cancel things because they can. It might cost more to pick up another season, and it's not lost on me that a lot of the shows that are the ones getting cut are the Black ones. That's messed up. Yeah, to me, Matt, they don't promote Black shows enough. And when I say they, I just mean like sometimes you find out about a show and you be like, dang, where have I been? How did I miss this? You know, it feels like they don't get as much publicity to where you can watch it and keep it alive.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to say. And I feel like every year there's a wave of Black shows that gets canceled. But, you know, the publicity is one thing. And part of it is that I just kind of assume that they don't think that anyone but Black people will watch Black shows, which I mean, like, yeah, Black people will watch Black shows, but like other people will watch these shows if you market them to them. But the other thing is we've been talking about some of the deaths that have happened, and one thing that links so many of those people is that they have gotten the chance to be on TV in sustained ways or in media in sustained ways. And I'm kind of worried that we're not going to get as much of that because we keep getting shows canceled after 1, 2, 3 seasons. So I'm sweating a little bit.
Yeah, well, one of the other shows I saw that was canceled is Extended Family. I do not know what this show is.
Never heard of that show. That's Donald Faison?
Yeah, Donald Faison. I didn't know he was still doing the things. I don't even know if this is a Black show. I just know he's in it. So it was May 7th when the news was announced, 6 weeks after its finale aired, which it had a finale. The final air date, March 27th of this year. So this show canceled, not coming back in the fall, and we didn't even know it existed. So
did the Good Doctor get canceled?
Yeah, but you know.
Yeah, sorry.
Had they time.
Yeah.
Overdue. Yeah. And then another show that got canceled, y'all. And I know y'all are going to be very much sad about this very Black show, the show that everybody's buzzing about. Bob Hart's Abishola Mari.
No!
I know, right? Not Abishola.
I remember when this came on, like when this first started, I literally looked at it and said, this ain't gonna last. There's no way this, like, what is this?
But it really did.
A white man with a heart condition falls in love with his African nurse, like CNA nurse. And all of the commercials were just like her introducing him to like African things. I was like, who is this?
And they're like, it's like, but he's white and she's African. What did we do? I know it's uncomfy, but five seasons. Mari, what do you think the magic is of this show that people have?
I don't know. I ain't never watched this show.
You didn't
Who is this show for?
It's for the Africans that want to hang out with the white men. You know, I don't know. Like, I really think
Africans, then that's good for them.
Almost 100 episodes. Almost 100 episodes.
See, are we part of the problem? Did we not give this black show? Is this a black show? Did we not give this black show a chance?
I don't think it's half black.
Is it half?
Which is still black.
Listeners, if you watch Bob Hart's Abishola, please let us know what it's about. Like,
let us know.
Like, did you like it? Was it not just look at how different our cultures are? Like,
I mean, they look like they're in love in the picture.
Yeah.
See the chemistry.
I don't know why I couldn't be
that guy.
Abishola.
I don't think that guy's from a different show. He's from Mike and Molly. Mike and Molly. I didn't like him on Mike and Molly.
I didn't watch Mike and Molly.
That's Mike and Molly. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so he's Mike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Melissa McCarthy. I heard
Why does his character's name always come first in the title? Why can't it be like Abishola is loved by Bob? Yeah, or, I don't know. I guess so. However that works.
I guess. I mean, look, it was on for 5 seasons. Obviously, we missed something. And again, we cannot be critical of people saying canceling these black shows if we're not gonna watch them. And I don't know if it's even black.
Well, this is by Chuck Lorre, so that's probably why it got more seasons. This is a dude who did 2.5 Men.
Yeah, he's a trusted resource for them. You know.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory, right? 30 Rock, those, I believe.
Yeah,
but it's like partially black because it's not black made.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
exactly.
And everything don't have to be all the way black all the time. It was just like, you know, like Abishola needed her due. I'm sure somebody needed to show some love to Abishola. How's Abby?
Yeah.
She was hanging on by a thread.
Maybe I'll pick one random episode like in the middle of the show and just watch it and see what happens.
Mari, go on Google, search top 10 episodes of Bob Hart's Abishola and then watch like
the first one.
The first one, yeah.
I kind of actually
man.
Do that now. Okay.
Watch it, Mari. You watch it and report back on it, and that way, like we can okay, come back and be like, no, it was good. I trust your opinion, Mari, but you know, maybe it's not worth a recap kickback episode, but maybe we just touch base with the Abishola stands.
We might have to do a thing where we just watch the top 10 like number 1 rated like episode of different shows.
Yeah.
Look, I feel like it's a good option. You know what I'm saying? We got a ton of content that we can release. So aside from the cancellations, we do have a new show. Did y'all know The Talk was getting canceled?
Like Julie Chen's The Talk?
I mean, I don't think she's even there anymore.
She's not on it. Right?
She's not there anymore. Yeah, because
Jerry O'Connell's The Talk.
Oh, he was on.
Oh, not him.
When did they put a man on there? What?
I can't keep up.
Well, I mean, a lot of those shows are getting canceled. I know The Real got canceled a minute ago. The Talk getting canceled. So The View's the only one hanging on there, huh?
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah. So The Talk will not be in the weekday lineup in 2025, but as of January 25, CBS has partnered with the NAACP on Beyond the Gates, a new daytime drama about a wealthy Black family living in a posh gated community, and it's going to be taking its place. And so look at that. Black show, right?
What? Oh,
so it's a soap opera.
Yes, it's a soap opera, and the NAACP is it's helping out. Like, I don't know if it's.
Can I ask? I don't want to be shady because I think it's great that this exists, and you know what? We need to watch it. Everyone here should be watching it. But what does the NAACP have expertise in making shows?
Well,
it's a partnership. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel
they were like, let's just find the Black people.
If you listen to our Hollywood Black coverage, you would know that the NAACP often
steps into media.
That's why we have the NAACP Image Awards. They often interject what they feel is good representation of Black people into entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, it's set here in Maryland. Yeah.
Of
yeah.
course. It's
Okay.
actually it's filmed in Atlanta, set in Maryland, in the leafy Maryland suburb just outside of Washington, D.C., in one of the most
Oh,
affluent African American
Mhm.
counties in the United States.
Mhm.
Um,
Mari,
so
you could live there.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mari, should we check out Beyond the Gates?
We have
You
to.
need to.
Like a daytime, an African American daytime soap. I
kinda have
mean,
to do it.
honestly,
I'm excited.
Yeah.
that is so smart. And the fact that daytime soaps have been around for what, 40 years and nobody's thought of that about this, when I'm pretty sure that Black women gotta be like up there for consumers of daytime soaps. I know my
Yeah.
TP would hand tape with cassettes, what was it, General Hospital, so she could watch her stories when she came home. My grandma
Yeah.
too, but I think
Right.
hers was One Life to Live, I want to say.
That sounds
Like,
right.
so I feel like this should have been happened.
Yeah. That's a good point, because I'm pretty sure my grandma has a picture of Victor Newman like framed on her wall next to John F. Kennedy and Black Jesus. You know, so like I
Right.
really, and next to her Obama poster.
Obama.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
those are the big ones for her. So you know, I'm pretty sure that that's something. Also, I think Black Cake got canceled. Mara, was it
Yeah.
you telling me that we need to watch that?
A listener had sent us a listener email saying we should have watched Black Cake back in our Connect days, I believe.
And had we maybe
Look
maybe
what
it's
you
good to
did.
hear. Yeah.
yeah.
The age of
Wow.
streaming, this age of streaming, man, has been honestly ridiculous. And I'm starting to realize how detrimental it can be for creatives, especially like Black creatives. Especially, I think, talking about what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be reviewing for this episode.
Yeah. All good points. I think that we probably should have watched it. I'm definitely gonna go watch it now.
Yeah.
But you know, in the future, maybe we gotta jump on some of this stuff at least to put an eye on it before it takes off. Even if we just gotta watch one episode, we ain't got time for a binge. We need to know if it's good so we can put it on our list. 5 seasons of Bob Hart's Abishola, and none of us checked it out once. That's a problem. So
again,
I mean,
is
I
it
don't.
like?
is it? Yeah. Maybe it's not.
It was just the vibes. The vibes were off.
People in the comments are going to tell us that Barb Hart's Abishola is something we should be watching. Okay, just let's handle it like that. Let's talk about what's coming soon, though. We talked about what we're losing. We talked about our new daytime soap that we're getting, but I believe on October 6th we will get the American Music Awards 50th anniversary special on CBS, and I love a good award show. I talk about them every chance I get. But this time in particular, they're going to be having a huge performance from the Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey will be doing a medley of her hits on this one. And we have a good slate of performances by other artists as well, including, I believe, Shaka Khan, Gladys Knight, Jennifer Hudson. So a few big performances.
These other people, though, like, I guess Brad
Paisley.
I don't know who that
Kane Brown is Black. He's a Black country artist. Yeah.
Speaking of which, shout out to Shabuzi.
Yeah, Shabuzi. Hey, y'all. In the age of Morgan Wallen's racist ass, Shabuzi has dethroned him with a country remix of Tipsy by Jaquan, essentially.
So good.
We did it, y'all. We did it.
We did it. We made it to the promised land. He also won the CMA and shouted out Beyonce. He won, I want to say, Breakout Star, I believe. And he shouted out Beyonce in his I'm trying to find it. In his
acceptance speech.
Yeah.
Yes, Best New Artist. Yep. Best New Artist at the People's Choice Country Awards. That's what it is. People's Choice Country Award. And he shouted out Beyonce. That song is so good. We talked about it before, but that song is so good.
Matt.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the song by Shabuzi?
So a bar song.
I actually have a story for you.
Ooh.
So it was so wild. On Friday this past week, I was just minding my business. I was in New Jersey, and I was like, let me go get dinner at this place. Like, just with a couple of my friends, and I walk into this Tex-Mex place, and there was like a hoedown night.
Oh.
And so they had all of the white country songs on, but then like when 10 p.m. hit, then they were kind of getting a little loose, and they said, let's let some of the black people in. So they didn't have any Cowboy Carter or anything like that. But yes, they did have Tipsy. They did have the Tipsy, or I should say the Tipsy remix by Shabuzi. No one was dancing to it, but they had it.
It was on. Yeah, it was on.
Yeah. So that happened.
That song is so good.
Yeah.
So make sure you check out the American Music Awards 50th anniversary to support Mariah and all her things. But I mean, Shaka Khan, Gladys Knight, we're gonna get some good performances that night, Mari.
But okay.
What's wrong?
But like none of those people are like younger than like 40 though.
Not one current like young like R&B or rap artist.
I mean, maybe they'll be there. Okay.
Kane Young, like old as all. Get out.
Yeah. Kane Brown, like 29.
Oh yeah, you keep saying him. I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of
like I don't know.
Who's Ray? You know? I don't know who Ray is. Who is that?
Who is that?
They're just not on the poster though, right?
Yeah, no, they said performances by.
That's all of them.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was all the performances. There was a lot. There was a lot of performances. It's gonna be a performance heavy night because it's not an award show. It's the 50th anniversary of the. So I think that it's gonna be mostly like performances. Yeah. So like a showcase almost is what I imagine. So
they've been accused in the past of not being really current and up to date on music.
Oh,
and it shows.
Well, yeah, that's what you're talking about. Okay.
And we made it. So if you want to check that out, of course, it's coming out this weekend on CBS. Mara, we have some good news. We recently talked about Rebel Ridge, and we talked about Aaron Pierre and his role and how we thought he did such a good job, and how these British folks are coming over here and taking our jobs. But speaking of jobs he'd be taking, Aaron Pierre has been tapped to be Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern, in Stephen James. I guess Stephen James is Beacon 23 production of the Green Lantern. So look at that, HBO's Lanterns. Okay.
So did he land it, or are they eyeing him?
It said cast, but I don't know if it said cast, but sometimes it'd be like we're looking at him to cast. And so I'm looking at the article. He's on the short list, they say.
He'd be a great Jon Stewart. He's a little light. He's a little on the light.
He's a little light skin. He is a little light skin.
But he was so cool in Rebel Ridge. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Unfortunately, he's just so good.
I don't know that. No, I do not know this man. That's what I was just about to say. I'm sorry to this man, but I like his face, he looks suave, with the little goatee situation, the round glasses, the curly little hairs.
About him.
Well, we were looking at what he was in, and I was like, I don't know him. Like that was Rebel Ridge, my first time watching him.
I'll watch him.
Will you watch the movie?
Oh.
Underground Railroad was the other thing he was in.
Okay. No, I'm sure I've seen him, but I didn't even know him by name. So
he's on the morning show.
Yeah, check out Rebel Ridge.
Sorry.
Yeah, check out Rebel Ridge. He was the star. It was a new take on, kind of like the Rambo type film. Instead of, somebody busting in the door and shooting everybody, he was disarming people and using nonviolence in the way Martin Luther King would have expected him to. So check that out. Yeah, it's on Netflix, man. And so we had a good time talking about it with the Was It Good Though podcast people. So make sure if y'all haven't listened to that, go check that out. It was fun. And then coming up as well, a little bit gloomier, but something I think we definitely have to address. The ID channel is going to be bringing us a documentary very similar to the Quiet on the Step documentary, where they talked about the abuse some of those child stars took in the late 90s, early 2000s, and mid 2000s, I guess I'd say. And so now the ID channel is bringing us the Chris Brown domestic violence documentary, which it premieres October 27th. And Mari, I feel like we have to talk about this. Don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
This is on the slate.
If you don't know anything about me, just
talk
know
about it.
That I will stay on Chris Brown's neck.
Yeah. You will.
Like, people are, why y'all still mad at him for a mistake he made when he was 19? Because he hasn't just stopped making mistakes. He's still making mistakes. He's been making mistakes. He just got arrested for like suspicion of assault 2 years ago. Like, this man is not a good man, but y'all don't care. Y'all still buy his CDs. You still make his shitty ass EDM music like top selling. Like, and this is as somebody who was there from the ground up when he first came out. That's why I'm so mad at him, because he was like my favorite R&B artist of all time when I was 16, and he was 16. He's 5 days older than me. Like, I know too much about this man, and I know that he's a dick, and I'm not surprised this is happening.
And he's not worth it. He's never been worth it. Like, I feel like the moment that he beat up Rihanna like that, like, what exactly? Why are we still with him? Why do people listen to his music? Like, he's gross. Like, you could block him on all of the streaming platforms. Like, you don't need to listen to him, but people, for whatever reason, they passion. You know how to, I mean, I'm sure you see it. Like, people passionately are on board with him. And honestly, whether or not he made a quote unquote mistake, like, I don't have time for it. There are so many people who aren't making those same mistakes. That's a red flag. He keeps making the mistakes. So I'm glad that he's being exposed. I just hope that all the people who watched Quiet on Set are also watching the Chris Brown documentary and more. It's different demographics, but you know, I hope that they're watching.
I'm sure Lori Beth Denberg is going to check it out.
Shout out.
Yeah, and like I said, just for me, like, it's the biggest thing of like, he's not changed. No. I'm the type, unless you've changed or something like that, I'm gonna give you hell until it's done. Like, I remember where I was at, what I was doing when I first saw him, like when he was first introduced to MTV, the behind the music of Run It. I remember seeing him and calling my best friend, crying like, oh my God, this boy is so cute. I remember me and my best friend went to Morgan State University's auditorium to watch him perform in front of a crowd of less than 1,000 people, like when he first came up. Like, when I tell you I was an OG Chris Brown fan, I was an OG Chris Brown fan, which means like what happened in 2019 was such a huge letdown. When I tell you, like, it's been really, like, it was hard for me after then to like really cut it all off, but everything since then has just been horrendous. Like, him stalking Karrueche was like even worse. Tough. Like, to me, like, I just I can't all the behavior, the drug fueled behavior is just not needed. And you know, I just can't. I hate when people are just like, y'all won't let him. He was, every time it's like he was 15. It's always goes lower and lower.
He was a baby. That baby beat that girl up because she hit him first.
Like, bro, first, exactly. It's just like,
but what about Karrueche? What about all these other, allegations and stuff like that? If you're asking yourself why the ID channel is doing this, they have their annual True Crime. Well, the True Crime Network has an annual No Excuse for Abuse campaign that happens that starts on October 27th. And so Investigation Discovery's documentary Chris Brown: A History of Violence will launch that whole campaign. And so it's going to start, the conversation, I guess, for like a month or so about making sure that people know that if you are abused, there's ways that you can get help, but also if you are a potential abuser, hey, get help first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, go to therapy, work out your stuff, don't touch other people's kids, don't hit people, don't, violence is not the answer, all that good stuff. They're going to be talking about it on the ID channel. And I honestly didn't even know about the True Crime Network. I'm sorry. I didn't know they had this campaign. So I'm very excited to hear about it, because these are things that people don't talk about.
And low key, they kind of ate with that one. No excuse for abuse.
Yeah.
Right.
Why? Has no one else has done
a bar?
Yeah.
Right. You would think we would already use that one. That would have been a day one type. If you started with that, maybe we could have shut abuse down a long time ago.
Yeah.
So that's the entertainment news for the week. Anything y'all wanted to bring up before we get into our recap of this week's project and How to Die Alone by Natasha Rothwell on Hulu?
No, the only other thing is like shout out to Beyonce and her Levi's commercial.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like I have to bring up Beyonce on every podcast. But
you already did, but that's okay.
Okay,
I have to
this
say
is twice.
too.
I had to make sure I got it in. Yeah.
No. Speaking of Beyonce, I mean, yeah, her Levi's. Shout out to her and her Levi's. I just saw that commercial, I think yesterday. But like, no, shout out to Beyonce. I hate when she doesn't give us the visuals, but a few weeks ago she did send out like what was it, like a high price alcohol of some sort.
Oh yeah,
I was
Sir
expecting
Davis.
an album. Yeah,
Have you had it yet?
No, I hear it's really smooth. Have you had it, Chappell?
I haven't had it yet. I personally don't even touch the hard stuff. I'm a water and juice straight, but
Yeah.
Are we lying today?
Cucumber
No,
water.
we're not
Is
lying.
it opposite day?
Infused waters,
Is it
cucumbers.
backwards day?
No Crown and Coke. Yeah.
None of that. None of that.
Gotcha.
I would never do Coke. No, never. So yeah, check that out. Beyonce, one thing she loves more than her fans is money. Okay, she's gonna do whatever it takes to get your money. Okay,
good for her.
Yeah. Look, and go get your money, lady. Okay, do your thing. Matt, what about you? Anything you want to highlight?
Recap Kickback. Like, just happy to be here. Happy to do this. I love how black the podcast is. How black it stays. So yeah, happy to be here.
I hate you. And we will be back to talk about How to Die Alone on Hulu right after this break. All right, we're back. Oh. And this week we're talking about How to Die Alone on Hulu. This is Natasha Rothwell, who most people know, I would say, probably from Insecure. But she is everywhere. She has done it all. I'm so proud of her to see her as like the person who I remember from Insecure to writing on these shows, to acting in these shows. The White Lotus comes to mind. So many different projects. And so this, to me, and I'm not 100% sure, but Mari, is this her first like starring leading lady role?
From my understanding, yes. And again, I feel like Hulu did this show a disservice because I remember when we saw that it was coming out, we tagged it. We were like, oh, we're going to watch this. And then next thing I know, it's out. No warning, nothing. And like they released like 4 episodes. Like they did a weird release for it. Like they dropped like 4 episodes one day and like another 4 episodes the next day or something like that. Like streaming and giving shows like only 8 episodes for a season has really messed up like appointment TV and TV to enjoy with other people, to be quite honest. That being said, I love this show. I begged you guys, I was like, we gotta talk about this show. I can't wait to get into it.
Yes, Matt, was this on your radar as well?
Yeah, it was. It came up. So when you mentioned it, literally 2 days ago to me, I was like, oh yeah. No, it sounded interesting. I didn't know when I'd get around to it, but I definitely saw it in the ether, which was nice. But I had no clue what to expect because just to start at something so basic, but the title, How to Die Alone, and then all of the blurbs about it talk about like Mel is this fat Black woman who works at an airport, and I'm like, oh, I'm intrigued. Like, let's go. So I was interested, and I'm just glad to have the excuse to actually tune in for all of this. But yeah, I'm with you, Mari, that I feel like just in general, the idea of like, okay, 1 week we're going to release half the season, and then the next week we're going to release the other half. Like, it doesn't make it so that there could be the momentum for people to get on board, because people are only talking about it for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So that's kind of a bummer, but it doesn't affect the quality of the show, which is good.
On this very podcast, Puya and I we waited a year and some change for Bel Air, only for Peacock to release 3 episodes, and then 2 episodes, basically, and just be done with it. And I was like, bro, we did this whole entire show in 3 weeks. You know, like, bro, I've been waiting over a year for this. What happened to the water cooler talk? You know, sitting around speculating what's going to happen from week to week. You almost can't talk about these kind of things with people because you don't know if they're caught up. So I agree, not to pile on, but they got to fix this. You know, either give it to me all or just give it weekly. You know,
it also kills word of mouth. Like it kills like, okay, I saw this episode. Like,
you should go watch
one
it.
episode, you should go watch it. Next episode, okay, like Matt said, it you can't build up steam if you're dropping it all at once. So by the time we're talking about it, what, 2 weeks after the first batch dropped, it's like, is the momentum gone? Will the momentum pick up now that we're talking about it? Will it matter now? Like, are the metrics already like determined? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I truly didn't. I don't like how they're doing these rollouts, but that goes all that to say, I love this show. One of the just basic things that I want to say just from it, the fact that it's set as like in an airport, like people doing airport jobs.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you. Like, it's not a hospital show. It's not a cop show. It's not a fire station show. Like, it's just kind of like Abbott to me, in a sense of like, yes, I'm not saying Abbott Elementary invented school dramas or anything like that, but like it feels new and different because we don't have that many shows about teachers in schools. You know what I'm saying? And to have a show about like airport workers, like, even if it's just like the background, really is really kind of cool. I was like, I want to know how people work in airports, you know?
We're seeing all sorts of stuff within the airports, like even in terms of different settings and all the different jobs and all. But I think my favorite thing here, even just to look at it from like the beginning of the season, like, you kind of are made to think a certain thing about what the show is. And I feel like every single episode, they're just like, oh, no, you assumed that the relationship between these people was one thing. It's not. You assume that this woman maybe wasn't getting it like she's been getting it, but she's getting it. So like, we'll show you that. Like, I really like that. And Natasha Rothwell is not only the star, but like creator. So it makes a lot of sense that she's busting through a lot of those myths and barriers and talking about a lot of relatable stuff. But I just like, I'm in love with her. I'm in love with the show. And it is kind of a bummer that we were talking about cancellations, because I bring it back for like, give her 10 seasons and then let's see what we're gonna do. But you know what, we enjoy it while we have it, and hopefully we have it for a long time to come.
Yes, that was the spoiler-free review. Okay, now we're about to get into the spoilers, y'all. So if you want to watch the show yourself, go check it out. It's got some twists and turns, so it is fun. And then come back and listen to the rest of the recap here. And we got other stuff coming your way, of course. But you know, go check it out, then come back, because we're about to spoil the hell out of this show. That was your warning. Here we go.
4 episodes.
The first 4 episodes, exactly. Mari, is airport worker a black job?
Ooh,
because TSA agent is definitely a black job.
It is, yeah. Sure, it's one of them.
Yeah, there are lots of black people at airports.
Yeah,
depending on where the airport is.
But when you think about
that part,
oh yeah, for sure.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Because when I think about like the TSA agent who's going to give me like the sternest look to make sure I don't do nothing, it's a black woman or a black man. You know, the black man and grab it. Hey, brother. Hey, look, hey. I'm just taking my laptop out the bag, baby. It's all right, you know? And so when I saw they started here, I love this. I love it. Like you compared it to Abbott, and I really do think like it had a lot of Abbott vibes in it for this first 4 episodes, because you meet so many different characters. We obviously have a main character, Natasha Rothwell playing Melissa, and we learn about her a lot. But throughout, they're giving us so much content for these other people where I start to, like Matt was saying, I'm looking like, does this person matter more? Is it like, should we be latching on to this story, or are they just building a universe? And so I started to get very excited because 4 episodes in, I'm like, we getting a season 2? Like, are we like, you know, like, why are we doing so much world building? So it made me very excited to get to know them. And I also agree with you that this was a story that I've never seen told like this. She finds out that she died on accident. She choked on a crab rangoon, her favorite food, on her birthday. And then basically a shelf fell on her, knocked her out. She died. Yeah, and
fake IKEA shelf.
The umlaut that she put together herself.
Yeah, on her lonely birthday. And so she comes back from that.
As she's taunting a rat in her apartment.
Lord,
this takes place in New York.
They have to remind us over and over again that just life just keeps knocking her down, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it does. And I think that, like, even with the title, just going back to the title, like, I assumed this was going to be the saddest, most pitiful person. But as much as life keeps not literally knocking her down and trying to take her out, like, I love that you kind of see these glimpses of her where you're like, oh, you speak multiple languages and you sign and you're like very personable and you just really friendly. Like, it's not just the typical story of someone whose life completely sucks. And if anything, I kind of feel like I was expecting her to be more lonely, more by herself, when she has all these people gravitating to her and getting in her corner, which, you know, I don't really understand the title of the show yet, but she's not dead yet. So that's pretty nice.
So for me, of course, Natasha Rothwell comes from the Insecure background, and I saw a lot of elements of Insecure in here. But for me, the How to Die Alone title to me is kind of like, because she has her near-death experience in the first episode, it's like we're watching her turn her life around, like, but not in a way that feels like, you know, Last Holiday or
I was just about to say
like hokey in a sense. It almost feels like some like real shit that somebody would do if they just had a near-death experience, because like going into her accident, the same day she gets an invitation, an evite to her ex's wedding, and her ex happens to be her boss at work,
which we find out later, because that was definitely not clear until about episode 2/3. So
yes, which is very fun. And but like and then she ends up in the hospital. She realizes she doesn't have anybody to call.
She's her own emergency contact.
Yeah, which is just
like, honestly,
please don't do that, y'all. Please don't do
that. I was gonna say practical.
As a medical professional, please don't do that. And then she has like that magical Negro moment with like, there's a woman in a bed next to her who's like gives her this like magical life advice and then like immediately dies.
Yeah.
2 things wrong with this. Hospitals like no longer really share rooms like that. Like Hollywood hasn't caught up. They don't do that specifically for reasons like this.
Yeah.
So you're not sharing a room with somebody, there's a curtain dividing, and then they die and you're just sitting there with their dead body there, and then you puke on their dead. Anyways,
she puked on that dead lady's face. We can't just gloss past that.
And then covered it back up.
That's so
What
rude.
is the coroner going to say?
Well, that was honestly, she disrespected that. And her name is just to honor the dead. Her name is Elise, and she not only puked on her face, but at some point she robbed her.
She stole her identity.
This woman is down bad. You know, on her birthday, she missed Lizzo in the airport. She died. Came back to life after her friend deserted her to go be with his bi-coastal bae. She got invited to the love of her life's wedding. Who happens to be her boss. She was in hell. And so she wanted to go to the wedding. You know, she was invited, but she wanted to fly to Hawaii to go and kick it with her love of her life. You know, the one who's getting married. She wants to go there.
But she's never flown before.
And she's afraid to fly, working at an airport. It's just like so much.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
a
that
waste
ironic?
of like. I'm pretty sure they get the employee thing, right?
The
Like,
discount, yeah.
Well, wait,
that's a
that's what I
waste.
wonder, because do you have to work at the airline? Because if you work for an
Oh,
airline, you definitely get that. But if you get, I bet if
If
you
you
work
work
in
at
the
the
airport,
airport.
you probably don't. They probably don't give you a shit if you work at the airport. Let's be honest.
Let
ooh,
us
that's
know
probably
if y'all
right.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
that's
need to
bad.
know that. I need to know that for sure. Just, for reasons, for research.
I mean, if you work at the Hudson News at the airport, you're not getting like discounted
Right.
flights. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, you work at the
Yeah.
Raising Canes.
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
I did like she seems to like try and turn her life around afterwards. She makes some friends and stuff, and wants to fly to Hawaii. I don't know, Chappelle. I don't want to take over, but can we talk about her friend Rory, please? Because
Sure,
I
yeah.
am on the
What about
fence
him?
about this man.
Okay,
Okay.
but I
So
think that's the beauty. I think that's the beauty of this, because
I agree.
even to where we got like halfway through the season,
Yeah.
I'm still on the fence. And yeah, but Mari, where are you
So
going with this?
Rory is Melissa's gay best friend, right?
Hmm.
He clearly is struggling with some daddy issues. He is I know I feel like that like he's Asian, but he was
Mhm.
adopted by rich white people.
The
So he
president of the airport or something like that.
yes,
Like the
yes,
guy
this
who owns the
yes,
building.
yes, the guy who owns the building is his dad, and he literally only works at the Hudson News to fulfill like a work requirement so for his trust fund.
Mhm.
So he has definitely some issues with his father. And
Mm.
then like it and then like some
Daddy
weird issues.
issues.
Yes, and then him about him being rich as well. Like
Yeah.
it's such an interesting relationship because he's rich and she's poor working at this airport. And we get her like hints at her money troubles throughout the 4 episodes, but they're like best friends. But then, like, are they? Because he also did desert her on her boyfriend for a dick appointment.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
Now,
you know what? Friends understand when friends need to have appointments.
but
So
he lied to
maybe
her
we should be
about
less
that appointment.
judgmental. Yeah, he could have really let her in on
He
the
did not tell her.
situation.
He made up a lie.
Bring her
Yeah.
along.
Well, from his point of view, he's like, it's really he's starting to feel guilty. Like he's got survivor's remorse because every time he comes around her, it's like a dark cloud is following her. We talked about what happened on her birthday, and she died. She literally died on her birthday. He like, would
But
you
if he
want to
was
tell somebody
there,
like, yeah, but like it was like, oh yeah, he definitely could have gone. Make no mistake, he could have gone and saved her life. But when he doesn't go, let's say he told her for sure, yeah, got a date, gotta go, bet. That's not going to change the outcome of this. Like she's still going to die at that point. I think that for him, he's like, I can't keep coming around you with good news because everything you tell me is a sob story. Like you went to go see Lizzo and fell off the cart you were riding on, and then a giant apple started rolling down the hall, and you almost got demoted, and then despite dying, you're also now on painkillers and potentially, not even able to function at work where you shouldn't even be coming because you can barely drive. Like, there's a lot going
that
on.
part
So
was
I
really
think,
funny.
yeah, Rory's trying to
Okay.
keep
Yeah.
distance from her, probably.
Yeah, and I'm also just going to point out she didn't even get that many painkillers, which is a whole other thing, which I feel like was like a
whole
wink and a
other
nod to
thing.
like Black women in the medical system.
Yep.
But you know what? I feel like the thing is she's not even that much of a downer. Like we all know
That's what
people
I
who are
thought,
just
right.
like she has a way of making it light and fun, and I feel like has a similar amount of negativity or
Yeah.
just like
Oh, they feed
a
off of each other.
Yeah, but
Very Molly
but-
and Issa.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You see
Oh
it.
my
You see
God.
how-
You
you
just
see how I
knocked
did
it out
that?
the
You
park.
see how I did
'Cause
that?
I was sitting here thinking, I was like, it's so hard for us to describe their friendship because it's
Mhm.
like,
They're codependent.
yes, it's
Mm.
codependent. It's like a little bit of mild hatred.
Yeah.
Disdain for sure.
Yeah, like because in episode 3 they have a huge fight that I was just like, oh my God, like that fight, y'all. I was like, ooh, body blow.
But I'm still confused because I had to watch back the fight because I'm like, wait, who's right
side
here?
am I on?
Whose side am I on?
They were making points.
Yeah.
They were both making points. It was so rough. because she's like, you weren't there for me. And he's like, I can't be there for you every second of the day. And we were talking about the downer thing. And he was like, I have the bi-coastal bay is now turning into like a boyfriend. And he's like, I have a boyfriend. I have good news. And she's like, and you abandoned me. It's like, it's so weird because he feels like one of those that once he gets a boyfriend, he
got a
dip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then also like, is she asking too much of him? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But him like capping off by yelling like, I'm not your boyfriend was like, woo wee.
Well, I mean, when she had an emergency contact, she called Rory, and I think in a general sense, like if you have a significant other, that's probably who you would call. So I think he's looking and seeing like maybe there are roles that he shouldn't be filling, even though she has nobody else. He probably like, dang, I would love to fill these roles as your friend, but at the same time, like mama got to have a life too.
But she clapped back and said, you're not even my friend. Which I was like,
is a what?
Is he? I mean,
that is such like a toddler, like
no, we ain't friends no more.
Yeah.
No, to me, I was like, that's prophetic because he's saying all these things. It's so interesting how they both have a different perspective of their relationship. Mm-hmm. He thinks he's giving everything, and she's like, no, you're so selfish and self-centered that you don't see that you aren't there for me on the things I actually need you to be there for me for. And so it's like the big picture, I guess, versus the little stuff. It's what men might see versus what women might see in a sense.
Even like with her, I think her thing is that she has so much going on. There's like they watched all the shows together. They sleep in the same bed a lot of times. They eat together. They do all this stuff together. And then the one time he misses something, she dies. But she's like, where were you, my friend, when you were supposed to be there for me? He was like, well, I did this, I did this, I did this, and I did this. She's like, but I died and you weren't there. She's like, okay, well, I can't be everywhere for you all the time. And she's like, I just want you to be there when I die. And when big stuff like that happens, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's the disconnect. It's like they both are looking at what they could be doing differently. But I mean, it's very draining on both of them. Like she doesn't have anybody else. I mean, look at the relationship she has with her brother, Matt.
Yeah, that's strange too.
Very.
I'm very much wondering what's going on with her brother Brian. And by the way, I had to do like an org chart situation of everybody because there's so many different people. I'm like, okay, here's her brother, but then her brother's like on a date with this one person, but does that other person pop up somewhere else? So she is really dealing with a lot. And just to go back for a second, before getting to her brother, like, because she's also navigating like, oh, I think he's cheating on his wife. And that's a whole mess. But like back to Rory for a second. I mean, Rory, we have to remember, got Melissa to quit her old job with the racist, fat phobic boss, but then also got her a job at the airport. And so I kind of see like the push and the pull where he's like, I've done so much for you. Like I show up for you. I sleep with you.
But asking her to turn down
a management gig, so
exactly that was a lot. That's a lot. And
like, what is happening here?
But it's like we don't get the cut and dry characters at all. I love here.
That.
How much time is passing over the course of like the first half of this season?
I don't know.
Because I need to know. Is this like 3 days or?
I think the first couple episodes is a short amount of time, and then there's a time jump right before episode 5. And so it's like all that is her reacting and dealing with the near-death experience and actually death experience of dying. And then I think the rest of it is her like trying to rebuild, and then you get the time jump of like the new fully formed her after. Episode 4, and we won't talk about this week, but that'll be our next week content to give people time to watch it, obviously. And so I think that's the issue. Like they had 8 episodes, and they had to tell this story, and I was like, okay, about 4 episodes in, it you're right, Matt. I wasn't really expecting where it to go, because the same person who's telling us that, oh, I'm so lonely, I don't got no man. I think the blurb on the Hulu website said, broke, fat, black JFK airport employee who's never been in love and forgotten how to dream. What? This lady got hoes, Mari.
Yeah, she does. Like men ain't shit in this season, in this series. Like,
thank you.
No, what about Terrence.
He cool.
He's
got
the
a best
one.
friend.
Okay, the friend, the light skin one. Yeah,
The light
okay.
skin
He's
friend.
the
It's
one.
always a
He's
light
the
skin.
one though. He's the one though, Mari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't even blame her for Alex. So Alex is her boss. I can't blame Alex for Alex. Alex is her boss, right?
Mhm.
And Alex is the one, her ex, who got away, who's getting married.
Mhm.
We do finally get a flashback, I want to say in episode 3, of what happened between them. And oh my God, it was so good. So her and Alex are kicking it. You can tell they just, like they said, they just get each other. They have this amazing chemistry, this amazing rapport. And they're all up on each other in a Thai restaurant.
Mhm.
And basically he says, I love you. And it's after 3 months of them like kicking it, and he wants to go public at work. He wants to declare their relationship for HR.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we're just having fun and blah, blah, blah. And she breaks up with him right then and there. And I'm like, girl, what? And then we come to find out she's talking to Rory, which I'm pretty sure stokes some of that resentment that Rory has for her. Like, she's talking to Rory. She basically broke up with Alex because she didn't think she was good enough for him. She said he fell in love with this 3 months of me that I've been presenting to him. I haven't shown him the real me. He won't like the real me. I'm cutting it off before he can cut it off with me. It's such a real insecure thing that a lot of people do. Yeah, there you go. Insecure. And it's just like, now can you blame Rory for being mad at her for throwing away a good thing because she was afraid of what might happen, and then now I got to carry that load of what could have been somebody else here?
Right.
I mean, it's just so many layers.
Well, like, also just like layers. To add, like, like self-sabotage, like her inner saboteurs catching up with her. And it makes me think, like, even when she's making that putting that wardrobe together from the fake IKEA, like, it does say it takes more than one person to put it together. So like she knew and she still did it, and look what happened. And so I feel like it's hard because you kind of like have to, like, you kind of love these characters, but you also like hate them, and you're like frustrated by them because they're way too human. Like, we all make mistakes like that.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
What's the other guy's name?
Carlos.
Yes.
Carlos.
That's nasty. Yeah.
Dog, I am so like, what? Why? This man is giving her heavy eyes. He's asking her out to lunch. He's like asking her questions about herself. Like, I'm like, okay, girl, give it. She finally gives in because, of course, something happens with her ex, and they're like doing it in the evidence. What is that? The confiscated
contraband room. In the airport.
It's not good. Not only does he have the nerve to like have that sex, but then immediately afterwards be like, oh yeah, my wife. She's like, my wife? Your wife? What?
Didn't ask. Yeah. He's like, what that got to do with you? You didn't ask.
Yeah, she didn't ask.
She didn't do the research. Yeah, you gotta ask. Well, do research.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask. You were only just flirting with me through the whole management class and coming on extra heavy. I didn't think I would have had to ask. What the fuck, man?
Yeah. Them having sex in the airport though, like, I was like, hey y'all, have some decorum. Go home. Come on, man.
That was
in the evidence
crazy.
room.
Yeah. I was like, but I should have known, because like I was like, okay, cool.
You should have known.
Carlos, it was cool. Yeah, but and then as soon as they're having sex, I was like, wait, this is going too fast for me. And then like the reveal of him being married, I was just like, yep, that's about right. Like, that's how I felt like her. I was like,
that's because this is insecure, Matt. All of these things, like, if you look at this through the lens of this is insecure, you got multiple suitors, and you got the one that you think you're in love with that you don't know. I don't know. I can't figure it out. You got one that you're going to try him, but the sex ain't great, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was very much the same kind of vibe as like, live your life, have sex with whoever you want to, but also sometimes you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. And so that's kind of the vibe I was getting.
Yeah, but a lot of
friend lurking in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of it didn't need to happen though. Like, because we're getting the Melissa Alex dynamic, which again, I'm just like, okay, I'm perceiving it like she's just into him. Like she has a crush on him. It'll never happen. He's taken. He's getting married, like all that. And I'm just like, we get to this whole point. Like we get the fiance mixed into it. Her friend, like Melissa, needs to keep her damn mouth shut because I
that
feel
part
like
was funny.
she's like digging deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So I get. Look,
but honestly, when we first are introduced to Alex, like they did it so masterfully because she's talking to him and there's still chemistry, they're still flirting, and I'm like, oh, okay, is this the love interest?
But see, that's where I'm like, is it something?
And then they reveal he's the ex though, and then that's when you're like, oh, okay, So when they revealed that she was the one who, because Rory said it, that she was the one who broke up with him. But when they revealed how it happened, I was like, girl, how you fumbled the bag like that so bad?
Yeah,
like
she didn't consider him her ex because she had been saying that they didn't go together no way. He was like, we dated for 3 months. She was like, we were having sex. I was like, Melissa, now girl, you afraid to die alone, but this is how you treating people? You know, like I don't know I don't know if you have the room to do this. But Alex, the thing about him is that it's hard to hate him, right? Like you want to be with her and we're rooting for her, right? Alex, get away from her. Let her move on. Let her try Carlos, you know? And we're like, what? Okay, fine, try it. And the whole time we're like hoping that Carlos will take her away from this, like save her from this train wreck because this man is getting married in Hawaii. Stop letting him lick his lips and look at you crazy because he's moving on. But when you find out that, like, no, this man said, I love you to her. He's in love. He's pining for her, not the other way around. Like, bruh. I was like, okay, dang, I got to root for him. Like, and so 4 episodes in, I'm thinking, do I want them to be together? Like, do I want this woman to ruin this marriage so that they can run off together? What are we looking for here, Matt?
But they didn't give us anything with the fiance. I'm sorry.
No, they didn't. And you know what? She needs a new job, honestly. Like, this is not a situation that's conducive to her mental health. I'm just saying. So that's my first thing here. But you know what? I'm kind of pissed that Alex invited her to the wedding because I get it. But I mean, you didn't have to do that. Like you could, like you knew she doesn't want to fly anyway. So just like don't invite her. Tell her about the wedding. And then we're all good, right? Like then we don't have a problem. Then we don't even have a show.
Don't invite people to your wedding that you even like. Don't invite people thinking that you expect them not to come.
Well, that's a wild
those will be the
one,
people
though.
that'll come.
That's a wild one with. I mean, she's the ex, and obviously it comes up later on. Like, oh, I need to talk with Julie about our relationship. Blah 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 blah. Like, what? Okay, like why was she invited to how did she get on the wedding invite list without an explanation? Was it just like she's the coworker or
my friend, my homegirl, you know?
Which, by the way, how did Rory end up on the invite list? Like, how big is this wedding?
He's the +1. Rory was the +1. He was going to pay for Melissa. That's how rich he is. He was like, I'll pay for you to go to Hawaii and you ain't got to worry about paying me back. We get the fiance.
The fiance and her friend are supposed to be leaving from JFK to go to the bachelorette party. But because there's a missing child, the terminal goes on lockdown. And Melissa accidentally told the fiance's best friend that she's still pining for a guy at work. It was bad. It was just
By the way, I don't know why I'm upset. I was like, what are these people's names? I can't keep up with who's who. Her Mari, her friend, the fiance's friend is named Marissa. So it was Melissa and Marissa.
Oh, geez.
And like it's too confusing. Probably not important at all. But yeah, no, she was driving her around with her broken ankle or leg or foot,
or whatever,
and telling all the tea. Like Melissa was telling her whole business about being in love still with her ex who she worked with.
Oh, so awkward. And then we got the fiance going with Melissa somewhere. This felt like a pissing moment. Like the fiance trying to and of course it was punctuated with the music here. Lady Saw, one of my favorite songs, I've Got Your Man by Lady Saw. one of my favorites.
Wow.
And
the soundtrack to this underrated. Shout out to Insecure.
Yes, shout out to Insecure. Shout out to that chick Angel's One Margarita opening up episode 3. I believe it was. Yeah, it was great. So it was just like this show. It feels like you would think exactly like you could plot out what this is. Oh, it's a fat black person. They're miserable, blah, 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 blah. But it's not. It's like, it really isn't. There's so many layers to all of the relationships in this. While we're saying all this, it's also hella funny. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah, so funny. I did laugh when Julie, the fiance, confronts Mel about their relationship. So she's kind of like, so y'all dated? Like, what's going on? Right. It's like she's kind of just trying to like downplay it a little bit. Like, no, we're just friends. He's like, okay, girl, because I just really thought like, I had something to be worried about, but clearly I don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're good here. And it is hella awkward. Like, you could cut the tension with a knife. It was so funny. But while this is going on, we cannot forget the comedic timing that's happening on the outside crew. When she goes out to smoke her cigarettes, we meet the people who are out there on the tarmac doing the work, and this is her crew. We meet Terrence. We can completely skip over her coworker / nemesis Patty, because
the one low white lady.
Patty,
Patty, who is everything low key. She is so funny. But I think you got Terrence, Deshaun, and Sean all working outside, and they're really good friends to her, like they're like her boys, like, oh yeah, and I'm missing somebody. Who was the woman that they were hanging out with too? Was it Tamika?
Kaya.
Kaya, yes. Oh yeah.
Wait, but Kaya, like from Hudson News? Or from the outside crew?
No, she was in the crew too, but she's from Hudson News.
Yeah.
Right. Trina. That was Trina, right?
No, that's Big Titty Trina. You talk about the wrong person.
What?
No.
Trina from Insecure. I'm talking about the wrong one.
Who was Trina on Insecure?
She was in there. She was the one who was selling the lotion watches.
Yeah, she was, but
I meant like, who was she on Insecure? Like, who was Trina? Oh, which one was Trina?
As in with the
my God,
kid.
wait, Mari.
My mama said you better stop whatever. Or, Trina,
Yeah, no, you're right. She was Trina on Insecure.
She was Trina on Insecure. Wow. Who would
different hair.
Who had the kid and I'm trying to think of all the funny stuff she said, but she wasn't saying stuff like when they had threw the party in the courtyard and Trina came down to the party. Yes.
Okay. Yes, Trina. Yes, I'm back.
That was her. She was selling the lotion watches.
Yeah, more. First of all, what? Also, more Insecure overlap, of course. But yeah, she's a part of the crew, and this is kind of where Melissa goes to wind down. She smokes her cigarettes, and she gets a lot of sage wisdom from these knuckleheads. They're all such a fun group, and they really add to the comedic timing of it. But we also have the third member of, I guess, this Love Square or whatever, Terrence, who, to me, at the naked eye, you would think, oh, like, this is just one of her boys. But it's very clear early on that he likes her a lot.
Is it?
To me, it was.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought it could be just like a platonic friendship.
Yeah, I thought it was very platonic. And then, for once, I thought it was a platonic friendship. Yeah. And then I think there's like they're laying the groundwork for like maybe it might be something different.
So I think the way I was watching it is that I'm eliminating some of these people right as it's going on. So I'm looking. So once she has sex with Carlos and it doesn't work out, I'm like, okay, this ain't I'm out on Carlos. I'm out on Alex for obvious reasons. He's getting married. Right. So I'm like, okay, putting all my chips in the Terrence basket. But he's dating someone when the show starts as well. So it's kind of like he's not really on the market. But I'm like, we got to find somebody for her because she's obviously on the prowl. She has people interested in her. It's a matter of finding which one. And so we haven't really talked about her brother a lot, but we will because we end episode 4 with her finally going to dating sites. She got this good wisdom from Alex. He said, you have to be like a Roomba. Okay, you're gonna hit a lot of walls, but that's gonna help you navigate later on. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta hit the walls first so that you can carve your path.
Deep,
right? Makes sense. Deep as hell. This is the moment, right? This is the moment where I started looking at Terrence, because she goes out after talking to Alex, and she's like, Terrence, I love that you be out here doing such and such, this, that, and the other. And I love that you got good chips. And she takes this man potato chips. Yeah. And he is going on record and said, I don't share my food. That's a deal breaker for me. I ain't marrying nobody if I got to share my food. He let this woman walk off with her chips, Mari. I was like,
right after he hit his girlfriend with the skirt.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the girlfriend tried to do the exact same thing, and he said, "Nope, don't touch my chips. Don't touch my chips." Yeah, and he let her eat that chip and walk away. And I think that's when that's what I mean. Like, was it obvious? Because I think that's when he realized it. He was like, "Oh, snap."
Yeah,
like,
wow,
yeah,
that was a good moment. I love that. Oh,
but to the brother, she goes on to a dating site. She's like, all right, I'm about to get out there in the streets now. I'm finna get back in the game. Let me start swiping. Let me pick a full body picture. We go the right way. Matt, she found her brother on a dating site.
Yeah, they need to figure out the algorithm and get the DNA and the algorithms that doesn't happen. You need to make sure that because that could look, we don't want accident. We don't want any of that. We don't want any of that. That's weird. I feel bad for her though that's how she had to find out. But Mari, I know you want to drag the brother. I feel like we don't know much about him.
I'm not going to do it yet. Yes, I want to drag the ever-loving shit out of him. Like, I want to pull him by his roots. But
I mean, he is.
I want to do that on the second part.
Yeah, if he's on a dating site, he is a filthy cheater because we haven't said this, but he is married. But him and Melissa have such a interesting dynamic because he's very much
toxic ass.
Yeah, he's presenting himself as like, I have to be responsible. I have to do all the right things. And Melissa gets to be a bum. And Melissa is like, you talk to me like I'm a bum. You treat me like I'm less than, and so they're bumping heads right there. But Matt, did she have to steal this man's social security number?
I didn't feel bad about it.
Right?
But no, I mean, she didn't have. This is the thing. She seems really desperate. Like, I didn't realize how desperate she truly was until she started stealing from everyone. So I don't know. It's hard because to me, even by this point, despite everything she'd been through, she wasn't giving desperation to the levels that yes, that hospital bill will murder you, but don't they have a payment plan? Can't you pay $25 a month?
But did she actually steal his money? I thought she just needed him to co-sign.
She stole his identity, Mari.
She stole his identity to co-sign for her payments.
But even then, it's rough. It's rough that she even had to do that, and it also does just feel like a fuck the medical system situation.
That part. Very that.
The real villain here is poverty. Let's not forget.
Yeah. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer.
Not to make this a thing, but it's a thing, y'all.
No.
Her brother has a white wife, and he is like, hey, I would, I have a family that I'm raising, and she's kind of poking fun at him and his white wife, and so there's a lot of kind of back and forth between the two of them. Obviously, he doesn't know that she stole his identity, but it seems like throughout their childhood and their life, they just haven't been able to get on the same page. And so now that she has this information about him, we are going to assume the shenanigans are possible because she has this information. She knows that he's on dating sites and that he's married, and this might make the shining star of the family, not look so shiny.
Well, let me ask about something with stealing the identity. So did she know? Because the way I saw it, she knew his social. She already knew that. As opposed to
she did.
Okay, so to me that indicates some sort of I don't know why he knows it, but I feel like she's also been able to support him or at least be in his life close enough to know his social. I'm assuming she didn't steal that at some other point.
I mean, it sounds like she stole it at some other point. I mean, we don't have any information to determine whether she did or not, but I don't know my brother's social and we don't fight like this. So I have to assume that.
Yeah, that's wild.
And look, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but we saw her rob a dead lady.
We sure did.
Which like the dead lady kind of, you know, I was okay with that because
you feel like she left willed it to her in her death.
She did. She was like, just go out there, have fun, go have some gyoza in Japan. Like,
right
on my dime, take my dime.
Why else would she have died? Like,
take my dog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To Bubba.
I like seeing this dynamic between her and her brother, like just outright kind of like hating each other was a very interesting dynamic. And yes, first thing we will be doing next week, I will be dragging him. I know it.
I might come in let me go build a defense for my boy. Let me see if I can get my court documents together.
But shout out to Bashir. That's Bashir Salahuddin, who was a writer and was on Southside, another Black show that has gone too soon. If you have not watched Southside, please do. It is one of the funniest shows ever. I really want to know if I need to see if he's a writer on I don't think so. No, he's not a writer on How to Die Alone. But Southside is another one of those really funny Black shows where it's a workplace comedy in a workplace you just would not like normally get. There it's like a workplace comedy at like a rent-a-center store, like where they do like repos on like furniture and stuff that people that don't do their payments on. And Bashir plays a police officer in it, and it takes place in Chicago, the South Side of Chicago, and it is so. You've never seen it, Chappell? Oh my god, it is. This show is so funny. Like, you gotta go watch it. It might not even be on Max anymore. God,
you know what?
I fucking hate Max.
You know what?
I think they got rid of all of it. Yeah.
Oh god. And look. And with that, we leave ourselves on the cliffhanger. What is she going to do now that her arch nemesis slash brother has been found out? She knows that he is potentially cheating on his wife, and she is in a management program trying to better herself, but also she could potentially make herself look better by making him look worse. And so we have to tune in next week for the remainder of the How to Die Alone recap that we're doing, the two-parter here, when we come back next week. Matt, you coming to join us?
I'll be here. How could I not? Look at that.
Yes, look at that. And
pencil it in.
Hopefully we have some good current events and stuff like that for you to talk about. Matt, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us here on Recap Kickback. Was this your first time?
Chappell, it was my
I've asked several
times. It feels so good too. It feels so good.
And so good. Welcome.
Just happy to be here. And you know what? It's like what an honor and a privilege that I get a two-parter on Recap Kickback. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that. And Matt, tell everybody where they can find you in the meantime.
So the people could find me, and my address is
well, drop the social first.
Yeah,
right.
We'll see whatever's most useful. Well, for now, DM me for my social, Matt Scott GW on all of the different platforms. You could also find me with Chappell and Mari, oddly, on Nothing But Netflix, talking about Mr. McMahon, Vincent Kennedy McMahon of pro wrestling fame. Check that out. We had a lot of fun talking about that. We'll continue talking about that. The timeline of when everything's coming out is kind of funky and confusing, but we're here. Just like look for that.
It's just an excuse for the three of us to talk repeatedly multiple times over the next few weeks.
Exactly.
We set it up like that.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So that's where I'm up to, and I'll also mention, and I'm still like, wait, is this public yet? But at RHAP, Robin's podcast, we are doing an event later this month of October in Philadelphia around the 10th anniversary of Survivor Cagayan. So I've been working with a couple of amazing folks, Dr. Amanda Rabinowitz, Lindsay Wilson. I'm producing like this beautiful documentary type of thing, like nothing RHAP's ever done before. It's a lot like I love the 80s, I love the 90s. So that'll be coming out at the end of October, but in Philly, we're having a premiere event. So reach out to me, Matt Scott GW, for more. Check out RHAP social for like the RSVP link. And that's what I'm up to. But yeah, just like mixing it up, doing all sorts of stuff that I haven't been doing otherwise.
You just reminded me, I need to sign that release form. You know, Mari, I'm in the Cagayan project.
Oh yeah, good for you.
Yeah, I'm a talking head. You know, I've been dying
He's a talking head. He's a talking head. How could you not have Chappell in I Stand Kageon? So
exactly. And yeah, Matt, thank you so much. We'll see you, of course, next week. And Mari, you got your silk jumpsuit on. Tell everybody where they're gonna find you.
You can find me at Mari Talks Too Much on Twitter. That's 2 like the number 2. You can find me on Nothing But Netflix this week. You can also find me over on Crime Scene with Sarah Carradine by going to robhasawebsite.com/crime feed, where we are talking about, what are we talking about this week?
Not that.
I always forget. This is the thing. I always forget because we record multiple things. But
look, in 2 weeks, this panel's coming back, baby. We're gonna be joining you on Crime Scene.
Yes,
talking about.
So dang,
we'll find out.
Yes, we're still trying to pick something out for you guys. But we watched. Oh God, see, I had it, and then you talked again, and then I forgot it again. It's fine, but it's gonna be with SDB. SDB is back. Is back with us. Yeah, Sarah again. Yes, again. She
medal or something. She's trying to win a race. It's a pissing contest.
It is. Yes, and she's beating everybody. Yes.
Man, we gotta jump on.
So we have fun. So just go check that out. That's it. I gotta go.
Yeah, and of course, stay tuned for more Recap Kickback coverage. What's up, Mari?
If I have to watch one episode of Bob Hart's Abishola, everybody should go and watch one episode of Southside on season 1, episode 8 on Max. It is my favorite episode. It is. It's still there, and it's my favorite. It's my favorite episode of Southside, season 1, episode 8, called "Weird White Murderer." Okay, that's it.
Wait, what?
It's called "Weird White Murderer."
I heard what you said.
Yeah,
but why are you? Okay, and wait, what?
I'm going to because I am seriously going to watch one episode of Bob Hart's Abishola.
Wait, Mari. Total side. Does STB know we exist? Does she know me and Chappell?
Yeah, I don't know.
How have y'all not talked about us? Like, how we like?
Yeah, what's wrong?
I feel like we have. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she knows.
Wow.
You feeling the type of way? I feel the type of way.
Don't love
All right, we gotta go.
Yes. Catch up with us next week on Recap Kickback podcast. If you're a Walking Dead fan, we're bringing you the Zombie Kickback with me, AJ Mass, Josh Wigler, and Jessica Leese. But then, of course, Matt Scott will be back next week to finish How to Die Alone episodes 4 through 8, along with me and Mari. And then we'll bring you more content. It's spooky season, so we got to come up with something spooky to talk about as well. So let us know if you have any suggestions. Email us at recapkickback@gmail.com or leave the comments in the YouTube comments right here on our YouTube page and let us know what spooky thing you want us to talk about for spooky season. Until next time, for Matt Scott, for Mari, and for me, you ain't got to go home, but you know the rest. We will talk to you all next week. Peace. I've been trapped behind Maria, isolated like it's North Korea. Smaller city with some bigger dreams. The wall is cracked, I'm looking in between it. The world is yours, but man, I gotta see it. They say it's hard, but man, I gotta see it. The air I'm breathing can't feel my chest. Wait on life, I wanna hold my breath. I'ma get in my goddamn self.